Well, it has been a minute since I've done my book discussion video. I mean, last 3 months I've been extremely busy. My family is transitioning into a new place and just a lot going on. But thanks to my family members, I was able to spend some time by myself, and here we go. I'm going to do my video. So, in the last 3 months, I've read 3 books. Not as many as I wanted, but given the circumstances, I think these are good. It is better than nothing. So, my first book is Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. And oh my God, this guy is a true inspiration. I've read his book and I watched all his videos on YouTube, and I was obsessed with him the longest time. The reason is that the guy really went through a hell, and he had a horrible childhood. He went through a family trauma, and he was labeled as a slow kid in school, that he just really had a hard time retaining information and just catching up on school subjects. And he would cheat all the way through high school, and there was this point in his life that he just decided that no more. I mean, that was his turning point, that he really decided that he wanted to turn his life around, so he does not feel as a loser, or somebody that just can't do anything in his life. So yeah, from then on, he just trained, he changed physically, mentally. He just learned tons of things. And I'm gonna read this. He is the only man in history to complete elite training as Navy SEAL, Army Ranger, and Air Force Tactical Air Controller. And he also completed 4,030 pull-ups in 17 hours. So he's basically considered the strongest man in the world. And yeah, it's just so amazing, like the things that he had to do. He learned the discipline, the hard work. And he is the reason actually inspired me to run, because he had done over 60 ultra marathons in the last few years. And the amount of hard work and amount of just that, like, and like endless discipline is just inspired me. And he himself stated in the book that we only use 40% of our physical and mental ability that we have. And just thinking about that is amazing. And yeah, I mean, this book is amazing. I mean, it's like a storytelling kind of situation, but then he inserted like 9 challenges that like basically asking readers to um, really sit down and think about their lives, and what are they good at, what are they lacking, what is working and what is not working, like all the things, like all the questions that really need to dig deep and really find out what is happening a person's life, and what needs to be changed in order to live the life that we all want. This is definitely a quality book. There are a lot of parts there. There are a lot of parts that I did not really relate to, because his trainings and Navy SEAL training, Hell Week, and things like that. But overall, the message and the amount of like the information, the different tactics that he like developed by himself, and he uses it in his everyday life, and how he was able to change himself is amazing. I would definitely recommend this book. So my next book is Raising Good Human. I really like this book, as it was a very simple explanation of like really good advice and really good content. So yeah, I've been really trying to catch up on my reading parenting book, so that my husband and I would raise a good human being that are emotionally mature, and just be able to solve any problems come their way when they grow up. So Raising Good Humans, it's a very like a good approach for parents to understand like our own emotions and our triggers, own trauma, so that we don't put those pressure or put those trauma into our kids. So for example, crying, can trigger us because when we were kids, maybe our moms would be triggered of, or siblings, and she would get frustrated, and that really, like, we would really take that on as like a really hard feeling, and now we become parents that we can react the way that our mom or our parents react. So it really goes into details of mindfulness, meditation, and really just like being present. And whenever there are like kids throw tantrums, or like there's just so many challenges that we can solve it from the standpoint of being very present and mindful. So one thing that I really like from this book is that as a parent, we like to solve our kids' problems because it is our nature that we want to make sure that our kids not going through hardships, or they're not struggling in their life. So we would give them an advice. But kids really need a good ear to listen and be present and really understand what they're going through. That's how we develop a strong, close relationship with our kids. But yeah, all in all, it is a simple read. All right, my last book is Be a Triangle by Lily Singh. So she's a young lady who has a very big presence in social media. She's a comedian, motivational speaker, and she's done lots and lots of work in entertainment world. And one day I was listening to her podcast, and I really inspired by her way of speaking, and like what she had to go through as a child, what she had to go through like as a young adult, that she just really just like go and just work hard and like kind of forgot everything else in her life. But there were certain times in her life that she really needed to slow down and understand a world around her. So the reason though the book is called Be a Triangle is that no matter what happens in our lives, no matter what kind of challenges and what kind of turmoil, emotional turmoil happens in our life, if we have that thick, strong foundation like a triangle, we will never like just fall apart as a human being. So it's a really short read, but there are some good points there. I would say this book isn't an easy read, but it's definitely not worth as the price that I have purchased. But all in all, I was inspired, and I was able to actually really get to know this lady. But the biggest thing I really liked about her is that she really does a lot of visualization. So like at some point she like talked about she has this a vision board in her bathroom that like she looks at it every morning while she's taking a shower, and she really like photoshopped a lot of things on that board, and it would just like like have her face on like certain things that she wants to achieve, like both physically and mentally, and just generally in her life. And that really inspired me to come up with my own, and I haven't done it yet, but it's definitely in one of my to-do list once I get some free time. So yeah, for this time, these are the 3 books that I read, and in the upcoming month or so, I really want to get back into my reading, because it's just amazing how much of information is out there, how inspirational human beings can be. So, all right, well, see you next time.